Right then, guys, welcome back to another video. It's very late. I really wanted to go to bed, but I just had a buzz. I just had a serious buzz. It probably stemmed from this thing. Tebow was kind enough to bring two with him, so we were just smoking them at a rooftop bar. It was fucking incredible. Really had a great night. And you know what it's like? The conversation gets flowing. We start talking, and we got onto the topic of how afraid people are in life, how afraid people are to do anything in life now. And TiVo literally just said people used to go to war, now people are afraid to upload to Instagram. It's so true. Everybody's petrified of their own shadow in the modern era, and it's a major problem. And I just went off. I was just smoking my cigar, and I just went off. I was like, right, you know, when you just start just spitting knowledge, you just go for it. You, like the videos I used to make for you guys where it had rant in brackets or whatever, or stop being a cunt and stuff like that. And I was like, I need to get back with this energy and I need to make a video ASAP because there's a book I want all of you to read, and it's called Inside the Tornado. The other one is The Attacker's Advantage. Now, these books are important because they show you something that does not get taught in society. And it highlights something. It highlights that everybody is soft as shit. Everybody's scared of life. Nobody wants to push the boundaries. Nobody wants to take things to the next level. And the greatest thing you can have in life is to be the last man standing. A lot of people don't realize this, right? To be the last man standing, you tend to win at everything. Everything that you do, you tend to win at. If you're the last one on his feet, you're the last one in the game, you tend to be the guy who wins. And I'll tell you why that's important. I'll break down the actual ins and outs of this along the journey. Everybody that I've started my journey with from when I was like 18, 19, 20 years old, who all had the same ambition as me, have all pretty much dropped off. Everybody's pretty much just given up and just gone back to 9 to 5 jobs or whatever and just done other things. It's the stresses along the way. It's the things that pop up. It's the things that are difficult. And I've realized that it's those things that actually make me push more. And this is why I want you guys to read The Attacker's Advantage and Inside the Tornado, because in these books they talk about when everything's chaotic, when everything's going wrong, when everybody's backing out and saying, oh, the market's saturated, everything's failing, oh, we need to get out of here now, we need to cut our losses and protect ourselves. The people that double down and go straight forward are the ones that win. And we use the example of, you know, if you're in a fight and the guy's punching you and you're backing up, it just puts you at such a disadvantage. Now, sometimes you've got to get out of the way and whatever, but most coaches will tell you just stand your ground. You know, just stand your ground. Don't back up because then it just keeps you in range and people start peltering you and whatnot. If you just stand your ground and you're willing to take those punches, you're willing to stay in the fight and be brave enough to take the best of what that guy's got, there's going to come a point where that same guy is going to run out of stamina. And I'll tell you now, life is the same. Life will hit you harder. Not to quote Rocky, but life will hit you harder than anything. Life has got Mike Tyson's right hand, and I think, is it Klitschko's left hand? Was Klitschko left-handed? But that's what it's got. It's got the two biggest, strongest hands in the fucking world, and it will hit you time and time and time and time again. And what will happen is as it hits people, they will back up. It's metaphorical. It's something that you can see in life. They back up. They take another step and another step and another step. And before they know where they are, they've walked off the plank. They're up against the ropes. They're getting pounded even more. And then the towel comes in and they give up and they quit. Fight over, you've lost the title. You're never in the fight if you do that. If you stand your ground and you take the best of what life can give you, and in those moments, inside the tornado, when things are chaotic, the attacker's advantage, if when everyone else would back up, you stand strong and you go forward and you try twice as hard, you have massive problems that have popped up. Maybe you've got massive debts. Maybe some things have happened to you that are wildly negative. Maybe you're in the scariest moment of your life where you think, do you know what, I really don't want to do this. This is horrible. It would be so much easier for me to just drop out and go and do the easy option. I promise you guys, if you push forward in those times, when you come out the other side, that's where the reward is. That's where the luxuries of life are. That's where the better life is. It's on the other side of that punishment. And you'd be surprised. It's like, I've got a rule in life. When things are going bad, I double down. When things are tough, I double down. I go even harder. I go again. I start thinking bigger. I'm like, right, here's my problems. If I rise to this level, my problems are non-existent. Okay? It's almost like you've got a fear of something. You push yourself to this level, and now that fear goes away. You know, I wanted to make a separate video on this, but I'm going to talk about it now. Some of you guys are losers. You're watching this now, you're losers. You can't get any women. You're not in shape. Life's not great. You're spending every weekend on your own. You're just sick and tired of just being that loser guy, and you just don't know where it's headed. Well, guess what? You will get to a point in life where you become fucking sick of being a loser. You will get to a point where you're like, I just don't want this anymore, right? So the fear that you originally had of, oh, I don't want to talk to people in public. Oh, I don't want to put content out. I don't want to take a risk on that big idea that I had and stuff like that. Life will chip away at you, and you will get to a point, maybe it's a Saturday night, maybe I don't know when it is for you, it will be a moment in life where you see, for example, a beautiful woman and you walk the other way and you think, I really wanted to talk to her, but I didn't. You will suddenly get to an age or a point in your life where you realize the fear of what's coming is bigger than the fear that you currently have. So the fear of becoming that 40-year-old weirdo, that 50-year-old weirdo that's done nothing with his life, it will just hit you. And you'll be like, do you know what? I'm tired of being a loser. And all the things that I was scared of, all the things that I was worried about before, all of the things that were holding me back, I'm still scared of them, but I'm way more scared of what's coming. So that fear outweighs that fear, and then you start doing shit, and you start going for it. I'll give you a perfect example, and this is probably too public. It's probably going to backfire on me in some sense, but it is what it is. Me and Tebow were just out at a rooftop bar, and I saw this girl, just beautiful woman, and she's exactly my type, ticks every single box. She was just unbelievable. And she kept looking, she kept smiling. We were holding eye contact and whatnot, but she was sat with the guy, and the guy very much looked like a boyfriend. And me and Tebow got up, and as I was walking past, she was just staring. I was staring back at her, we were smiling. And I was like, a boyfriend sat right there, and she probably doesn't speak English. Two limiting beliefs, right? Two things that could hold you back in life. I've just made up a narrative in my head. She's got a boyfriend, and she probably doesn't speak English. We got to the lifts, and I was like, mate, I'm going to go back. I was like, I need to make something up. So I was just like, I'm just going to go back. I'm going to come up with a reason to go over there. So I walked over. First thing I say is just like, I was talking to the boyfriend, or what I thought was the boyfriend, and I was like, look, and I just came up with this narrative and whatnot. And she goes, that's not my boyfriend. And she was like, and also I speak English. This is what is on the table for you guys. This is what's crazy. If you're just willing to have the biggest bollocks in the room, if you're willing to, as I always say, roll the fucking dice, you don't know what's going to be there. Two limiting beliefs that I've just made up. She's got a boyfriend, she doesn't speak English. Well, guess what? Wasn't her boyfriend and she speaks English. This is on the cards for you guys. This is on the cards for you. And this whole video is just about encapsulating a feeling, a mood, just going after whatever you want in life and not giving a bollocks about what's on the other side. Worst case scenario, what can happen? Nothing. There is literally nothing that can happen that can be negative. You're just being soppy. You're just sat in this little zone in life, this comfort zone, and every time something worries you, you take a step back, metaphorically. Like I said, the boxing fight. Oh, I've taken a punch, I'm going to take a step back. Oh, I'm taking another punch, it hurts, I'm going to take a step back. If you stand your ground and you're willing to throw back in those toughest moments, or you're willing to take that punishment, cover up, and say, I'll get you in the later rounds, you wait, my time's coming, you're going to get tired. That's the same as life. Life gets tired. Life beats the shit out of you and then goes, fine, you're still here? Have it. Have whatever you wanted. Do you know why? Because life is a numbers game. Everything's a numbers game. In terms of business, success, whatever you're chasing, I promise you 99.9% of people will drop out in a 10-year period. If you're the guy who starts at 20, by 30 years old, I guarantee you, everybody you started that journey with has dropped out. You've maybe had new people join and whatnot, but everybody you started with, everybody who's got that ambition, the first hurdle, the first tough thing that happens, they will all drop out. Every single one of them eventually will go, this is too tough for me. If you're the last man standing, you're the last man in the fight, you win. And life rewards people like that. And when things are going wrong, let's say, for example, you've got a massive bill that's coming your way. Here's my mentality. I would invest in products. I would reinvest in the business. I would be like, fuck that bill. I can pay that anytime. I can just deal with the stress for 3 months of them being on my back and messaging me and whatnot. And I'd be like, I'm going to put that money back into the business because that business is then going to make me more money. It's going to make my problems obsolete. And then I'm going to be in a better position moving forward. Nobody does that. And if I could give you guys some advice on a secret to success, I never do this shit. I hate this stuff. But if there's one secret to success, it's your tolerance to risk and stress. If you can just stay, for example, The average person, risk, they don't have it. They're very risk averse. They don't want to take risks in life. They're not willing to do it. If I had 20K in the bank, I would spend 19.5 thousand of it. I just would. I'd spend 19 guaranteed. I'd always be like, right, I've got 19 to invest. I'll just leave 1,000 in the bank. Oh, we need another 1,000. Fuck it. I'm going straight in. The people who do that always win in life, guys. And the other thing people can't handle, like I said, was stress. If you can learn as a man to tolerate stress for extended periods of time, you just win, because nobody can do it. People can do it for a month. Maybe somebody can do it for a year, and then they go, do you know what? I'm just going to give up. This life isn't for me. I'm going to cop out. If you're the guy who can stay in that pocket, stay in those trenches, you can hear that gunfire going over your head, and you're like, if I just make it to that trench, I'll be okay. And you do. And then there's grenades going off, and there's more bullets, and there's mud flying everywhere. Somebody next to you dies, and you go, but I just have to get to that trench. Before you know where you are, they start backing up. Before you know where they are, you're in a better position, and you're firing back at them. And it's like, it's time for me to shoot my shots now. These motherfuckers are out of bullets. That's life. Eventually, they'll run out of bullets. Eventually, life will just say, do you know what? This guy's a killer. This guy's just top level. This guy is the 1%. I'm going to ease up. He wants it that badly. I'm just going to let him have it. It's so weird, but it happens to you. And it's these limiting beliefs that you keep telling yourself. Like I said earlier, oh, she probably doesn't speak English and that's probably her boyfriend. Oh, it's not my boyfriend and I speak fluent English. Nice to meet you. Wow, perfect. And you just cruise straight through. That's just one example. Imagine how many other examples you guys are in where that's happening to you. Why, your fear of posting because people are going to judge you. Well, I'd have a much bigger fear of in 10 years' time I'm going to be broken and nobody, and I have to live with regret. That fear should be so big that it makes those other fears obsolete. You should look at them and just be like, I have to do it, and that's what will happen to you guys. If you stay in that pocket long enough and you keep chipping away, you will realize, I am sick and tired of being a loser. I am sick and tired of not being that guy that I know I could be. I am sick and tired of it. You see a guy with a beautiful woman, nice car, nice house, etc. And what do you tell? What do you tell yourself? Oh, he's lucky. Oh, he's got something that I haven't. Do you know what that guy did? He just rolled the dice. He's got the biggest pair of balls in the room. He approached 100 women and 5 said yeah. He went on a date with all 5 and then he married the most beautiful one. And you're going, oh, this guy's lucky. Oh, if only I could, whatever. Oh, he's only there because he's tall or whatever. Life is like this. And like I said, you guys have got to become sick and tired of being the loser. And the way you do that is you stop staying in your comfort zone. You stop shying away from the things that make you nervous. Oh, I'm nervous. Oh, I'm fearful of this situation. Oh, but it's too much of a risk. I can't handle the stress. You need to become tolerant of stress. You need to be able to take risks and be okay with it. But you need to be able to sit in that pocket when you're inside the tornado, when everyone's saying, oh, it's a terrible idea, don't do it. People told me this year, don't do clothing. Clothing's a terrible idea, don't do it. It's not going to work. Clothing's insane. I've just executed on the clothing brand. With trench coats coming very soon, they're high level. They're apparently the Rolls Royce of trench coats in terms of the material that's being used, the gabardine material. That's Burberry level. How can that not work? How can you have people like Amancio Ortega who owns Zara, or the guy who owned LV and stuff like that, who have made billions, and then people can say to me, clothing is not going to work? If you sat there and you constantly listened to what people told you isn't going to work, and you constantly listened to, people's thoughts on why you shouldn't do things, you'd never fucking do anything. And that's the difference between winners and losers. The winners just do it regardless. The winners just do it regardless. You look at somebody like Donald Trump, and I'm not saying that I'm a fucking massive Trump fan or whatever, but you got to respect the guy. The guy's always millions in debt and he turns it into billions. He just takes on massive debt and he has that risk tolerance and he believes it's going to work. And he's over leveraged as hell, and then it all pays off. And he comes out the other side richer and better off than he was before. He's done that all his life, and some of the top people do it. And I'm not telling you guys to go and take $100,000 loan tomorrow and put yourself at massive risk and whatnot. But you got to have a big pair of bollocks in this world. You got to take risks. Who dares wins. It's the SAS slogan. It's from Del Boy. It's from Only Fools and Horses. Who dares wins, guys. If you're not going to do it, you're not fucking living. Every single day that ticks by that you're sat there on your hands going, yeah, but I'll wait because it's not the right time. I won't do this now because it's not the right time. I'm at an age now where everything I've ever wanted to do, I'm doing. I'm not holding back because I'm 32. I'm not exactly old, but I'm like, you're in your male advantage years now. You've got to make this count. And that's what I mean about the fear of not becoming who I always thought I could be outweighs everything that was there before. And you've got to become sick and tired of being a loser. And look, I don't think I was a loser, but I knew I could get to this level, and now I'm pushing it. I wanted to do a sprint video for about 9 years. I finally did it this year, and after I did it, I was like, why have I not done this sooner? What was holding me back from doing that? Guys, truth be told, nothing. Nothing was holding me back from doing it. So why the hell wasn't I doing it? And it's weird. You just like I said, have to become sick and tired of it. You just have to sit there and say, why not me? And as I always say to you guys, you're not a million miles away. You're really not a million miles away. The person who's at the top, just a couple of years ahead of you. I mean, there's so many names. You think of Alex Hormozy, you think of Tate, you think of some of these guys, Dan Bilzerian. Nobody's overnight superstars. Literally within years. I mean, you think 2 years ago, nobody knew who the Tates were. You think when Dan Bilzerian was 32, 33, nobody knew who he was. And then all of a sudden, shit gets serious. And it's just those, it doesn't have to be that age, but I'm just saying it happens to people at that age because they stop giving a shit. They see the attacker's advantage. They see inside the tornado mentality. And they're like, my problems get dealt with by doubling down on what I was already doing. Let's say you do something, it creates a problem. Most people back up. Most people go, I'm not doing that anymore. Like that resulted in pain. Double down on it. Do it more. Push forward. Keep going. Because at the other end of that is where people win. Like I told you guys recently on a video on school, which you guys should 100% join. That's where the best content is right now. You know, you get to ask these questions one-to-one with me. It's unbelievable. We've got some of the biggest winners in the world on that. We did a review of Dana White's story. Do you know Dana White and the UFC were 40 million in debt? Guys, what would you do? What's your risk tolerance? Where's your stress at if you're 40 million in debt? That is shit street. That is up shit's creek without a paddle. 40 million in debt. How do you wake up every day and keep working and deal with that? Well, they did, and they came out the other side, and now they're a multi-billion-dollar company, and Dana White's worth like $1 billion himself. That's the level of risk tolerance that top-level people have. They just truly believe, they just stay in that pocket, and when they're inside the tornado and everything's going wrong, and everyone would back up and go the other way, the top 1%, the top-level people who make it in life, who have everything they've ever wanted, who just stampede and break down every wall and door in their way and every barrier, they're the ones who go, this is the time now to push in. This is the time to go forward. This is the time to lock in even more and double down. Truth be told, we're in this situation because we didn't work hard enough. We're in this situation because we're not taking big enough risks. How different a mentality is that? Something's gone wrong. We've got a problem. Top-level people go, we're not thinking big enough. We need to go even further. Low-level people, people who never make it, people who live with regret, who don't end up getting to where they want in life, who end up being those soppy little motherfuckers just sat at home talking about what they could have been and what they should have been and what you should do, and they're giving all the advice to people. As soon as they take a metaphorical punch in life, they back up. They go the other way. You have to stand your ground. You have to fight it out. And when the opportunity is ready, you drive forward. You double down. You go twice as hard. You kick forward. I hope this helps, guys. I just had a surge of motivation. I really wanted to go to bed, but I was like, if I don't get these words out and motivate you guys, I'm going to regret it in the morning because I won't be in the same mind state. So I hope it helped, guys. I don't think I've missed anything on here. And best of luck with everything you're doing, and remember the words I said today. I think it's one of the most important videos I've ever done. So see you soon, guys. Have a good one. Best of luck.